I think it's time that we all realized that society, and when I say society, I mean the worldwide society, has sold us a bill of goods on this whole idea of being exceptional. And what does that mean when you are exceptional? And where does that fit in your life? Where does that fit in your soul contract? You came here. Look, I'm just telling you, I'm just passing this along to you in case you didn't know, but you signed sort of a contract or you created a blueprint of your life and you thought, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have these parents, I'm going to have this astrology, numerology, all these things set in stone, probably going to be born into a certain culture, religion, race, gender, and culture, like as in state or country. Those things are locked in. They're just locked in. But I have a secret. I want to do something in my life. I want my soul to experience something in my life. And when we think about that, right, because we have been indoctrinated with these images of exceptionalism, we think whatever career I'm going to do, I'm going to excel. I want to be one of the best. I want to be the best. And then sometimes that's too much for us, right? And we just say, no, I'm just going to sit it out. I'm not going to compete with you. I don't want to compete. I'm just going to sit over here and do the bare minimum and get through this life because I don't care. What if that's what you came here to do? What if by absolute accident, you're actually doing the thing, right? This is what I want to talk to you about today. I want to hopefully help you understand some things about how you're living your life and how you're living your life, perhaps in the best possible way. Or if you're not, how you can be more fulfilled in living the life the way you are. Let's talk about it. I'm Susan Lynn. I'm a psychic medium. I'm a spirit navigator. I do these videos to help you out. I feel like I am a liaison for humans on earth to spirit because I talk to my spirit guides pretty much every day. They natter on quite a lot about various things. And what they wanted me to tell you today is let me just start by saying this exceptionalism, right? You know what's interesting to me? Because I have it. Like I have this thing, this Virgo thing of like, if you're gonna do it right. Do it perfect, right? And I gotta tell you a little story about my dad. Now, my dad was very good at a lot of things. As a matter of fact, he was a sharpshooter in the army, could not care, did not want. They tried to make him an officer, didn't care, didn't want it. He actually told the guy, I can get the same 3 meals and a cot at the Salvation Army and not have to get up. This was my dad. This was my dad's viewpoint of certain things, right? He was a little bit of a rogue, of an iconoclast. He kind of marched to the beat of his own drummer. And that's what we can learn from today, because I'm telling you, this guy, when he finally had enough, he retired early. He was a construction worker. He was a trades guy, union guy. He retired early. He had had enough. He had had enough of the whole thing. And that meant he was going to live poor and he didn't care. I'm telling you right now, he didn't care. So he started selling. He would buy things and resell them. He was a flea market guy. Now, of course, ever so often he would buy something that was worth quite a bit of money, and he would figure that out. This was way before the internet. Imagine how much harder it was, right? He'd have to get a book and look it up, and then he would actually go to those high-end antique stores and show them, and 9 times out of 10 they would buy it for him for very little money. Now, of course, they're going to mark it up. And at the time, that really irritated me. I was like, Dad, come on, I mean, why don't you sell it for this kind of money? But my dad was happy. This is what I want you to understand. My dad was happy in his place on the food chain. He was perfectly happy selling the things he sold them, happy dealing with his customers. He loved it. He didn't want to have a shop on Main Street. and have to dress up every day and have to deal. That was not him. So he happily existed in the zone that made him happy. And guess what? He excelled at it. This man died with money in the bank. Interesting, right? Very interesting. He followed his heart. He did what made him happy. When he got that odd, very, expensive, rare thing, he just passed it along. And then that person passed it along and made more money. But everybody knew where they were. They accepted where they were. And you know what? My dad didn't think any less of himself. No one thought any less of him. He was very good at what he did. He was happy. He was making his own rules. He'd pull his van up in some parking lot and open it up, and voila, the man had a business, right? He didn't have to answer to anybody. Sometimes he had a stall, sometimes he didn't. But this is my point for you and me. Spirit has really been trying to get this point across to me. And here's what they said. They said, vibrate at the highest vibration you can vibrate at, knowing that might not be the rock star. One of the things they tell me is that, well, the person who plays on Sundays for $100 and just loves it and is thrilled by it and is fulfilled by it is doing the same vibrational work as someone who gets on a stage to 10,000 people. Doesn't that blow your mind? Because guess what? Spirit doesn't care about money. Spirit cares about vibration. Now, they don't want you to be poor. It's not about that at all. They're happy for you to make $10,000 an hour. They don't care. What they care about is your vibration. How happy are you? So if you're happy, no matter what you're making, and you feel fulfilled, you're paying your bills, you're doing the thing, but you're happy. I mean, I'm telling you, my dad lived a very poor life, but he was happy. He didn't need those things to make him happy. And so if he did, he would have made a different decision. He had the skills. Believe me, he had the skills. He could have easily been a foreman. He could have easily run a business. He was very entrepreneurial, but he chose happiness over all those things. So the point of this video is to understand that they want you to max out your vibration. That's it. Max out your vibration. Be happy. If you're happy as an artist part-time, great. If you're happy as an artist full-time, where you're selling big things, great. But guess what? If you're taking this exceptionalism idea and you're saying, no, I need to make $1 million. I won't be a successful person in whatever the job is until I reach this zenith. But your heart isn't in it. You're doing it because society, your culture, whatever it is, says you're not successful. Poor my dad. He's just a flea market guy. Y'all, he wrote his own ticket. He had a time. The man always was busy and social. He had a great life, and he died giving us an inheritance. Right? Okay, how did he do that? With a flea market job. Because he loved it, because his vibration was so happy. He fit in exactly where he needed to fit in. And when you do that, the money will come to you. If you're in a place where you're not paying your bills, where things are tight, where things keep falling through, then you're not in the vibrational, zone. Regardless of people say, yeah, but your job is amazing. Like, I know someone who has a very nice degree, is a pharmacist, and has to work 3 jobs. As a pharmacist, has to have 2 more jobs. That is a clue to me that something's not right. You don't love that job doesn't love you, because it's not supporting you. So it's like your energy, they're showing me your energy is leaking out. It's not staying with you. The money's not staying with you. The happiness, the abundance is not staying with you. It's leaking out. So think about your own life, right? Think about what you're doing. Maybe you're retired. Maybe you're not. Think about how happy are you? Because if you can make some small adjustments, and they really are small, because we can't always change, our marriage or our family or our living situation or our health situation, but we can change one small thing. One small thing. And that one small thing will be a domino effect that will affect other parts of your life in a way you can't even imagine. It starts with a small thing. Then it grows from there. So think about that. If you're a person who's like, yeah, Susan, that describes me. Like, I'm just so sated and happy. I just feel perfectly fine. Then you are in the sweet spot of your vibrational existence in your life. Congratulations, right? Congratulations. I think sometimes because they want to talk about how society sort of indoctrinates us, that can seem like boring. Like people say, well, don't you want more? Why aren't you doing more? You're so good. You could do this. You could do that. Again, there's that indoctrination, that exceptionalism. It's not you. That's their opinion of you. So let's not get trapped in that. Let's not get trapped on that hamster wheel of other people's ideas or the culture, the society's ideas of who you are and what you're supposed to be doing. Because if you can find a way to be at the zenith of where you're supposed to be on your vibrational range, then everything is gravy. You're going to be supported financially. You're going to be supported healthily with your mental health, with your energetic health, and with your happiness. And so you might be asking, well, like, how do I know? Well, again, we go back to if your energy is leaky, if you're not happy, if things are falling apart, if you're having to work way harder than you think you should be having to work, then you're out of alignment. Basically, you're out of alignment. Now, how do you fix that, right? Like, I get it. Like, you might be of a certain age where you can't just quit your job, because especially given the situation right now, what we would do is not focus on the problem. We would focus on one small thing. Every single day, if you can, do one thing that makes you a little happy. Doesn't have to be a big thing. And that's the thing, right? They're saying we have been indoctrinated to think, well, Susan, what would make me happy is to have $1 million and have a big house and to have all my bills paid. That would make you more relaxed, but it wouldn't make you happy. It would take away your pain, but it wouldn't give you happiness. So that's an important thing. So let's start with what would make you happy. Does, simply doing a little hobby start to make you happy? What you're doing when you do this is you're disconnecting from that external feeling of, I need to be this, I need to do this, I need to answer to this. For that 30 minutes, you're not connected to that. You're connected to you. And you're doing a crossword puzzle. You're doing a little hobby of some kind, coloring. Maybe you're doing flower arrangement. You're feeding your soul is what you're doing. Taking a walk. You're involved in a group of people that like to do something interesting, different than your work. These steps are important. we often think that we have to solve the whole problem, that this is but Susan, I'm not going to solve my problem. My problem is my health. My problem is I don't have the money. My problem is my boss expects me to work an extra 20 hours a week. It is going to solve your problem, not in the way you think, because we don't solve our problem by doing the big thing. We solve our problem by a little tiny step of resistance, a little tiny step of feeding your soul. Let's say every day for 10 minutes, you want to just listen to music. Maybe you hook it up with another habit. If you've heard me before, I often talk about doing that. It's much easier to remember to do something if you hook it into another habit. When you're getting gas in your car, you start to ask yourself every single time, when have I put gas in my car? When have I done something for Susan? If you'll hook it together, it'll come up. When you do laundry, hook a pattern in there. When you brush your teeth, hook a pattern in there that you want to start a new thing. So let's say listening to music, and it seems so simple, but I'm telling you, it's a game changer. These literally are game changers. You can't do anything unless you take one little step. One little step. That's how big things are done. So if you put in the headphones and you listen to music when you're brushing your teeth, that's it. That's all we're talking about. Disrupt the status quo is what they're saying. So if every day you come home and you kick your shoes off and you go in the kitchen and you make dinner, disrupt that. Completely disrupt that pattern. Instead of kicking your shoes off, come home, walk back out the door and walk down the street. Then come back into the house. Or walk in the house, kick your shoes off and play music. Walk in the door, kick your shoes off, and maybe sit and do chair yoga. Disrupt that static energy. And it will pay off so much for you because you've gotten disconnected from what makes you happy. You know, when we're kids, we play, we run. I mean, it's so interesting, right? That other kids ask, can you play? The adults ask, can we play? No, you know what I mean? These days, we don't even ask to go have coffee. We're so busy, right? We've really gotten so far away from our social norms, from having that coffee, having that dinner, having that dessert together, having that chat, you know, across the fence. We've lost all of these things. We've lost our way to our soul, to our soul's blueprint. And we've replaced it with this super productivity and exceptionalism, which has nothing to do with how you came here or why you came here. So allow yourself, you know, if you say, Susan, I'm really just a medium cook. I'm a medium artist. I'm a medium in my physical efforts, you know, for exercise. Embrace that. Stop comparing yourself to other people. You're not other people. Do they have your fingerprint? No. You have your fingerprint. You're very different. You're not like any of them. So when we can bring back into our uniqueness and accept ourselves wherever we are and say, I'm the best at this level. I'm very happy at this level. Then you will find the peace and the joy in your life. And that's worth anything, isn't it? And it's not going to come through your job. It's not going to come through family. It's just not. This is an inside job. You have to do it yourself. And the beauty of it is, though, when you find your way, you start leading by example. And then those people that you really want to help, be they your kids, your spouse, your family, whoever, they're like, what are you doing? What, you look great. You look happy. Why are you so happy? What are you doing? What is your secret? Then you can tell them. I come home and do a jigsaw puzzle for 10 minutes before I do anything. I don't listen to the news. I don't do anything. I come home and I just do my decompression. I do my chair yoga. I do my coloring. I play with my dog, my cat. I listen to music. I disrupted this entire stagnant, stuck routine. And in doing so, I let some light in. I let some light in for me to see, what do I want? Who am I? This is fun. I feel relaxed. It turns out I don't need all that stuff. I don't care about what that person thinks of me. My dad never cared what I said. He said, I'm happy. I'm happy. It really took me decades. I'm talking decades. And it's like, why? Why are you doing this? You could be doing this. You could be doing this amazing thing. He never did. He never did. He always marched to the beat of his own drummer. And that is my message to you, right? Connect back to your joy. Understand that you can vibrate super high and be just as high vibrationally as somebody who's a pro sports star or a rock star or as a multi-gazillionaire. If they're really vibrating at the height of their true soul blueprint, then you're vibrating the same way they are. You're just expressing it differently. But I would actually venture that a lot of those people that we worship are really sad and not happy in their lives. We see again and again and again these people that fall apart, that have all the money, that should have everything, yet they fall apart because they're not really operating within their highest vibration. They've again succumbed to this idea of exceptionalism. They've listened to other people instead of listening to their own soul. So hopefully this has been food for thought for you, that you've gotten something out of this, some spark of some imagination, or even some steps that you can take, some real world steps that you can take and shine your light and not worry about what other people think. Just show up as happy as you can be. And that's the best that anybody can ask. Last Wednesday, I promised you that I had a big announcement, and I have a big announcement. Today, I'm announcing that this is my third annual Connect to Empower event. My third annual. This is something, you guys, that I didn't think was for me. I didn't think I could do it. I got to be honest with you and say I didn't even want to do it. But this is my soul. This is my soul blueprint. And sometimes our soul blueprint is a little bit of a stretch, right? We're stretching out of our comfort zone. And this is definitely my soul blueprint because this is my third one. They've been very successful. I've been very honored in getting to meet you in person and getting to experience the transformation that happens at these events. I have 5 other psychics coming with me. We are going to be in Santa Fe, New Mexico. We're going to have over 25 hours of unique presentations, but not only that, we have so many new things planned for you this year because every year I ask you, I really want to know your thoughts, and I take it very seriously. This year, we're adding so many community games, exercises, where you're going to get to work with other attendees and with the speakers and grow and come back completely changed. And why do I say that? Well, because I've been doing this for a long time. And I have to tell you, people really are changing. I've had my online community for several years now, and I've watched it with my own eyes. And I understand that when you're the one doing the changing, you don't always see it. But from an outsider's perspective, the change that's happened to some of these people that have been in my community for years is phenomenal. It's absolutely astounding. They went from being very self-incriminating or defeatist or unsure or critical, to standing in their power, to understanding their connection to spirit, to relying on it, to being so much more grounded in general. I'm serious. I've seen this with my own eyes. This event is part of that. This event offers that kind of boost. This is a kind of boost that's going to last with you all year long. It is not just, we're going to go and you're going to do some things and then you're going to leave. No, you're going to go do some things and you're going to be changed, because I believe in transformation. I've experienced transformation. I want you to experience transformation. So if you're interested in this, think about coming. It's in November. It is in Santa Fe, New Mexico. You can find all the information on my website, SusanLynnMedium.com. It is about halfway sold out. I do think, or I do know that it's going to sell out, but I will tell you that if you're supposed to be there, you will be there. So don't worry about it. If this is not a good time to buy a ticket, put it out there to spirit. I want to go to this thing. Help me figure it out. I truly believe that if you have it in your heart that you want to do something and you're open to having help getting there, they will help you get there, right? So you can check it out on my website, SusanLynnMedium.com, my online community where I talk about people transforming. I'm there with you 3 times a month. One time is Soul Growth Sunday, which is something that I've been doing for years. And this is where I really notice it, because I work with these same people. We have new people, but a lot of people are returning people because they get a lot from this, right? We spend 2 hours together and we do a process where I work with Oracle and Tarot cards, and your spirit guides answer questions about your life, about your soul blueprint, about what's challenging you, about how you can grow. We work on these things. We journal about it. And then if you get stuck, guess what? I'm there. You literally can say, hey, Susan, I don't get it. Like, I get what they're saying, but I don't get it. You basically get a reading right there. I'm there to help you over the humps, to help you over the speed bumps. That's just one event. I have a whole nother event every month that is doing readings. So you can actually get readings from me. I don't do readings anymore. I only offer them through the membership. This membership is only $12 a month. If you sign up monthly, then you can cancel anytime. Sign up for a month, spend $12, see if you like it, right? And the third thing I do is I bring an outside professional in to give you a 1-hour mini class. Every month you get a 1-hour mini class from an outside professional. You get Soul Growth Sunday with me, with your spirit guides, helping you understand your own soul blueprint, your own life, your own incarnation. And then another meeting where I'm doing readings for you, right? So I think that's a very value added for $12 a month. But not everybody has money right now. I get it. So guess what? I started a free online community. Yes, I did. I pay the bills. You get to go free. There's no ads. There's no nothing over there. It's just you, thousands of you hanging out, supporting each other. So just like this video is free, right? I try to help people at all different levels. I'm not gatekeeping and saying you can only come see Susan if you spend thousands or hundreds of dollars or even $12. There's a way for you to get the help you need. I want to be able to give that to you, and I want to help you at whatever level you are. So I hope that this video has been helpful for you. If it has, check out my other videos because they're all free. They're all here on YouTube, and they're all meant to boost your vibration, to help you have a happier life, to have a more fulfilling life, maybe even to understand some of life's mysteries, right? Like, why does this keep happening, Susan? Guess what? I have a video about it, I promise you. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your support. Please know how much I genuinely appreciate that. Take really good care of yourself, okay? I'll see you again next Wednesday.